to infinity and beyond.
What's up, everybody? It's Roger and James here from DisKingdom.com. In this episode, we're going to be talking about one of the new releases this week, which is going to be coming out. It's the full Throttle Remastered version, which was based on kind of like a reversion of Lucasarts game from, I think it was back in 1994. They've remastered it, almost redone it. Like I said, as of time of recording, we are literally like 12 hours from it being released, so we haven't played it yet. It's going to be out now on PlayStation 4, PlayStation Vita and PC. I think also the PS version is a cross-play version. So this game is, like I said, 1995 classic version. 20 years later, they brought it back with hand-drawn 3D high-resolution network with 4K support. Players were able to switch back and forth between the classic and the remastered versions and the different audios. It also includes, it's going to be interesting because these, again, are very different ones. I never played it. This is one that I've never played, but it comes from the same team that did Grim Fandango and also Day of the Tentacle. I have played Day of the Tentacle, the remastered version. Unfortunately, to me, it's one of them weeks where there's quite a few like different Disney titles out. We got the Afternoons and the Guardians of the Galaxy Total, so we got like a triple threat of games. So I probably will try this one out. It wouldn't surprise me if it ends up dropping on like PlayStation Plus or Xbox Gold at some point in a year or so's time. So have you ever really kind of sort of heard much about this one?
I mean, I heard about it plenty back when it first came out because, you know, the Lucasarts adventure games like this and Day of the Tentacle were extremely popular for good reason. They had a lot of playability, a lot of accessibility for people, but it was never my genre. I never was one of those people who was like, all right, I'm just going to hold on to this stick for the next 14 panels because maybe I can stick it in an electrical socket in like 18 screens from now, and that electrical socket will short circuit the door, so I'll be able to go through the door or whatever. And just like, I don't enjoy those games so very much, but a lot of people do. So,
see, I must admit, when I did the Day of the Tentacle one, I was like, well, what is this? I think at the time, you know, Super Nintendo Genesis was out, so I was playing them instead. I remember a few of the friends playing it at school, but I tend to play Day of the Tentacle. I ended up just bringing up a walkthrough and literally just kind of went through it with that one. I'd play it till I got stuck, and then I would just, because it was like, I don't want the frustration, because back in those days, there was no internet. You had to go to your school friends and ask them, and if no one had done it, you literally had to work it out, or you got so frustrated you stopped playing. At least now you can be like, where is this? Okay, well, and then you can kind of get spun on. So this is a game I'm probably going to have a look at, see how it works out. But it's a bit of a bad one. In fact, it's definitely released at a time when there's so much else out, and there's a lot of other things. But I think this one probably might be a little bit of a slow burner. It might just sit around, and once it's remastered, fans will jump back into it, and it could probably be like a little bit a sleeper kind of game of just being. And also the fact it's been remastered, it can sit around for years and just be picked up.
Yeah, I mean, there's absolutely no reason for them to not release this. And yeah, sure, the timing sucks, but like you said, this is one of those ones where a couple of years from now, somebody might be like, man, do you remember that Full Throttle game? I loved that as a kid. Oh, wow, look, it's on the PlayStation or the Steam or whatever. And oh, well, $10 or whatever the price is at the time, sure, I'll do that. So they're not expecting it to make them millions and millions of dollars up front, but just having it available for people who remember these games who like, well, I finished Day of the Tentacle, now it's, what am I going to play? Yeah, I mean, there's no reason for them not to have it available.
No. And also, like I said, you know, once it's been upgraded, you know, they've upgraded to 4K, you know, it's going to probably, you know, be available for, you know, 20-something years. It's going to be available for people to try. It's one of those things as well. I remember when playing the Day of the Tentacle, was like, you get used to the modern style, which will be nicely laid out, and then you flick back to the classic one and go, oh my god, it looks awful, because you forgot at the time you were playing it on a 10-inch monitor, you know. But no, it looks pretty fun. Looks to be a very different kind of story, because obviously you got this biker guy. But even from like the images that have come out, it definitely looks fun. It looks pretty cool, artistic style. And like I said, it should just be cool. Apparently the story goes, 1 minute you're on the road, riding, not a care in the world. Then some guy in a suit comes along and says he's got a deal for you and your gang. But when he come to, you've got a lump on your head and then law on your back and a feeling in your gut that the road you're on is about to get a lot rougher. So it's all about a thing of motorcycle guys. Very different today of the Tentacle. Should be a little bit of fun.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be too surprised if we didn't see this pop over to the Switch at some point, because it does seem like a game that would lend itself to a touchscreen gameplay where you got to pick things up from the environment.
Yeah, so those look pretty cool. And if you've got any thoughts on these, or if you've picked it up, let us know in the comments below what you guys think about it. Or did you play it originally the first time round? As per usual, guys, you can follow us on all the different social medias. You can also find us on different platforms for watching and listening to this episode of the podcast. You can also find James over at heroiclegacy.com, and you can find him on internet on Twitter as Vagabond Pig. On that note, guys, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you guys soon. Later.